In ancient times, the people who lived on Earth possessed abilities that allowed them to be much smarter than the current human. The people of the first origins, the first civilization, had the opportunity to easily use the entire information database that exists in the universe. This information space of the universe was created by the great cosmic intelligence some people call God. It was filled by the great cosmic intelligence and by the people themselves, their thoughts. It is so grandiose and capable of answering any question. It works in a very modest, quiet way, and the answer appeared instantly in the subconscious of the person who was asking the question. The people of the first civilization did not need a spacecraft to fly to other planets, because if they wished, they could see what was happening on those planets anyway. They didn't need a television, a telephone entwining the earth with communication lines. They didn't need literature, because the information you get from books, they knew how to access instantly. These people did not need an industry that produced medicinal preparations. They could, if necessary, get all the best medicines which were on hand, because they knew how to communicate with nature. They didn't need transportation or machines or factories, because everything was available to them anyway. They understood that changes in climatic conditions on one part of the earth served as a signal of resettlement on another, so that the former earth could rest. They understood the cosmos and their planet. They were thinkers and understood their purpose. They perfected the planet Earth. They had no equal in the universe. In terms of intelligence, only the great intelligence of the universe, God Himself, was higher. About 10,000 years ago, among the human civilization that populated what is now Europe, Asia, the northern part of Africa, the Caucasus, individuals began to appear in whom the connection with the great intelligence of the universe was partially or completely dulled. It is from this moment that humanity's movement towards a catastrophe of planetary scale begins. No matter what catastrophe it is, ecological, nuclear, bacteriological, as predicted by scientists, as ancient religions spoke about it, describing it allegorically. Having lost contact with the intelligence of the universe, they have lost the knowledge with the help of which it is possible to improve the Earth and manage it. Imagine the crew of a super advanced spaceship suddenly losing 90% of their minds. They, thinking nothing of it, began to break off the paneling and light a fire in the cabin, break off the devices from the remote control and make their own decorations and toys out of them. These people can be called a crazy crew, and it was they who first invented the stone, axe, spear. Then their idea developing reached the nuclear warhead. And to this day, their thought continues with incredible persistence to break the perfect natural creations, replacing them with their own primitive creations. Their generations began to invent more and more, at the same time destroying the super advanced natural mechanism of the earth, creating all kinds of artificial social devices. Then people started fighting with each other. These mechanisms, machines, could not exist naturally by themselves. They could not reproduce themselves or self-restore when broken, like a tree, for example. And then the technocrats, needed a lot of people to serve these mechanisms, and in fact they turned some people into biorobots. These biorobots, since they lacked the individual ability to know the truth, are very easy to control. Well, for example, with the help of artificial means of information put in them program, communism must be built. Create symbols, icons, flags with certain color, then with the help of the same means put another program in the part of other people. Communism is bad, present other symbols, colors. And then two groups with different programs will hate each other to the point of physical annihilation. And it all started 10,000 years ago when and there were more and more people deprived of connection with the great intellect. In fact, these people can still be called insane because none of the living creatures in nature will destroy the earth like they do. In those distant times, there were few people left who could still freely use universal wisdom. They hoped that humanity, when it comes to the fact that it will become difficult to breathe polluted air, it will become dangerous to drink polluted water, and the artificial life support system created by them, technical and social, will turn out to be cumbersome and more often will cause emergency failures. They were thinking that people standing on the edge of the abyss will think about the essence of being, the meaning of their lives and their destiny. Then many of them will want to understand the truth of the primary sources. And this is possible under the necessary condition of the return of the abilities of the primary sources. Few people who lived 10,000 years ago still possess these abilities. Basically, these were the heads of communities, tribal leaders. They, or rather on their instructions, people began to build special structures from heavy stone slabs. Inside was a chamber, a room measuring approximately 1.5 meters by 2 meters and about 2 meters high, sometimes larger, sometimes smaller. The stone slabs were placed at a small angle inward. Sometimes such chambers were carved out of monolithic stone. Sometimes they were hidden underground, filling mounds. A cone-shaped hole, approximately 30 centimeters in diameter, was made in one of the walls of the chamber in the slab. It was closed with a perfectly fitted stone stopper. People who have not lost the ability to use the wisdom of the universe went into them, into these so-called tomb chambers. Those who remained alive and were born even after thousands of years could approach them and get an answer to the question that interested the person. For this it was necessary to sit down inside the chamber dolmen and ask a question. Sometimes the answer came right away, sometimes later, but it always came because these structures had a spirit which was lost forever in them, and it served as an information receiver. Through them it was easier to contact the intelligence of the universe. Living people entered them, and their death was unusual. They went into eternal meditation in order to create an opportunity for descendants to return the power of the primary origins. An elderly man, as a rule, one of the wisest or a leader who felt his imminent death, would ask his relatives and friends to place him in this stone chamber. If he was considered worthy, he was placed there. Heavy massive stone lid was moved away. He entered the stone chamber. The lid was closed. The person found himself completely isolated from the external material world. His eyes saw nothing, his ears heard nothing. Such complete isolation, the impossibility of allowing even thought to return. But even before moving to another world, the disconnection of the usual organs of feeling, vision, and hearing opened the possibility of full communication with the mind of the cosmos, to comprehend many phenomena and actions of earthly people, and most importantly to pass on what was meaningful to the survivors and their subsequent generations. Now roughly such a state today is called meditation, but it's just child's play compared to meditation into eternity. Later people came to this stone chamber, pulled out the cork that closed the hole, and went into deep thought, consulting with the thoughts floating in the chamber. The spirit of wisdom has always been there. These stone chambers still exist today. Today they are called dolmens. They can be seen, touched, and you can check everything that has been said about them. Local residents also know about them, but they do not attach importance to them. Many dolmens have already been looted. People do not understand their true purpose. They do not know about the possibility of contact with the great wisdom of the universe with their help. Those who have gone into eternal meditation can never be embodied in material body again. They sacrificed eternity for the sake of their descendants, and their knowledge and capabilities turned out to be unclaimed. This is their greatest grief and sadness. And the location of the bones of the skeletons found in dolmens serves as proof that living people used to die there in the past. Some died lying down, some sitting in a corner or half lying, leaning against a stone slab. Today, people have ascertained this fact. It was described by scientists, but again no meaning was given to it. Dolmens are not seriously studied. Dolmens are broken by local residents. Their stone slabs are used for construction. They are in many countries around the world. Our ancestors are waiting for everyone in the